Well, hello there, humans, bees, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and whoever you're lucky enough to be doing it to. Welcome to my channel. I'm Bushka on Blitz, and this is where you come if you want to waste a whole lot of your life looking at World of Tanks Blitz videos or just really fast-paced, action-loving gameplay. Sometimes. Today we're looking at a particular playstyle that was born out of necessity for me. I dropped on channel yesterday a collage, a montage, a veritable colossus of light tank love, where it was 4 minutes long. It was an old song that I wrote way back in the 90s with my band Bell Chopper. Back then, I loved hard rock, I loved the heavy stuff, I loved the fast stuff, and I still bloody well do at times. I'm not averse to belting out a little bit of Stevie Wonder, but I am also red hot and ready for some Caius or Machine Head if you've got the time. Now, this is a hell of a tank. It's the Ru-251, and I wanted to feature it and other light tanks in that format. Really, really fast-paced, fun, short excerpts of flying off cliffs and drifting around people and circle of deathing and ramming and just generally getting sideways as hard as humanly possible. But to do that, I needed the footage. So I started playing lights, and I started playing in a completely reckless and all-round lunatic manner. And I started winning everything. And I thought, what the hell's going on? Like, I am playing like borderline YOLO, and yet I keep picking up the wins, and I'm not doing massive amounts of damage. I had two, maybe 3,000 damage games at tier 8, and the rest of it was more or less 1,400 to 2,000, which is not the kind of number that springs out of the page. I mean, I've got 1,300 hit points, so that's like a 1.5 damage ratio to a 1 damage ratio, which is not really taking out a lot of the enemy team. What I found was that the more aggressive I played, the more players on the other team who weren't that great just focused on shooting me. And to the detriment of their overall tactical gameplay and the detriment of their team's abilities. And it also stopped the guys that wanted to camp at the back and have free run. It spotted them up in the most hilariously poor positions and kept them out of the game. Now, I'm going to show you some of this gameplay because, my golly, you're going to see this is at the start of the whole affair. And you'll note 4 minutes, 30 seconds to go in the game, and everyone's pretty much dead. And I was well back early, and this was an aggressive game from a light tank standpoint, but not super aggressive. This was early in the piece, and I found that the more footage was required as I kept editing and editing this other project, the more I came back and played light tanks like an absolute barnstormer. And like this game, you're going to see, I started ending up in the opposition spawn around about a minute in, which was just like, you're 60 seconds into a game and you've cleared half the map. You know, within an exact area where the entire red team is, and your team knows to within an exact area where the entire red team is. Now, I've only got a 72% win rate in this tank. It was actually a little bit lower when I started this whole affair off, but you can see 2.6 average enemy vehicle spotted. Now, that was around about the 2 mark when I kicked this whole thing off, which was exactly the same as it was on my standard account back in the day. So we've really ripped that up. That's gone up considerably. It doesn't always win you the game. Like, we found no one here in the corner. There was no one really to decimate for the teams that were waiting for the targets, and they all went over the other side. So you do your best, but there's no guarantees in this world, quite obviously, and I'm not saying that you should do this anyway. Like, it doesn't win you the game there because the other teams moved really well as a unit. But then you get on maps like this, which is very, very close and very, very tight-knit. They've got 1 light and 1 medium tank. So I'm going to push up past the Rubicon here. Now, the Rubicon on this map, this is Yamato Harbour, is more or less this little area here. Now, I'm going to push past it and be really, really aggressive. They've got 3 TDs. TDs like to sit up there. I stop just here. We're 30 seconds into the map, and I've pushed right up. And it also does this other crazy thing. When you push, people tend to push too. If they see that it's safe up there, they'll move on up. And there is a heavy tank, a Tiger P. He's pushed out into the wilderness, and I'm right out here with him. And now there are other tanks putting shots into him, We own the map. Like, there is literally so much map control going on right here. It's not funny. We've got 2 TDs down the back. We've got the Tiger P coming around. We're going to eat one. We're going to duck across here, get behind the next bit of hard cover, and push right past, using him as a bit of a shield. They can't fire through their own tank. I'm being more and more aggressive. It was like a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more aggressive I got, the better I went. Now, I want to be... Huge disclaimer here. I've got like 45,000 games. I'm completely capable of being aware of where a lot of other enemy tanks were and are, and camo, the game mechanics, spotting, resetting camo, having my head on a swivel, knowing where tanks are in close proximity, waiting to come out before things happen, and I still get wrecked on occasion. But look at this. I've now got all these tanks over here stuck in this tiny spot. Like, they're stuck in a corner. Our team is enveloping them. I love this. I get wrecked. I get completely wrecked. But again, I mean, everyone's looking at me. I'm one tank, and I've got all these guys looking at me. And they're stuck. They're screwed. I'm going to get killed here because, you know, the Borsig was looking at me. The Tiger 2 was looking at me. But, you know, we won. We won the game. We won the game again. We won the game. 15 seconds in. I am over the midpoint of the map. They have 2 mediums and 2 lights. They have 2 heavies and a TD. So what am I going to do? I'm going to push right up into the guts of their team and spot this area in here, then turn around, and I'm not going to stop. The big thing about doing this, which I found was crazy, was this tank goes so fast, and it really utilizes the top end speed of the tank, and you just don't stop. You quite literally don't stop. You play without taking your finger off the device. I don't know. It's controlled chaos. It's madness. 6 minutes to go, and we've driven, you know, we've probably driven 750 meters already, and we're trying to spot targets. We're really playing to find people on the enemy team to... There's an Ru-251. Let's go and have a shot at him. And it's going to drag us right through their spawn. He doesn't pop. He's gone all the way around the back. I can see that there's 3 on the map, 4 on the map, 5 on the map. I'm missing 2 tanks. I'm missing a Tiger and a Waffle. Don't know where they are. Let's go find them. There's guys up the back. That Ru's a one-shot, so if we can clear him, there's at the most 2 tanks back here. There's the Waffle tractor. Tiger's AFK. We spot it up. The team just comes and rolls. Like, I think we lose 1 tank here. Seems kind of lunacy, doesn't it? It really does. The payoff for this was huge, though. And it takes advantage of guys who really don't know what they're doing and are in horrible positions. Think of it like this. That Waffle tractor, while he wasn't spotted, was a deterrent to the rest of the team. And he really shouldn't have been, because he was just sitting in spawn turret turning. You know... This really worries me. It really does. Because I don't want you guys to see this and then just go and start being a clown. There is a specific tank that I'm doing this in, the Ru-251. It goes 80 kilometers an hour. They have 5 mediums. I'm taking a huge guess here that they are pushing down low, but it's a fairly good educated guess. And nothing is spotted, and I'm so aggressive here. If they are camping at this middle point, then I'm screwed. But again, educated guess. And I'm going to use some really, really good spots on the map to get elevation and get a big sneak peek out to about 290 meters. But again, if they were there, I was in all kinds of trouble. And I do like 1,400 damage in this game, and we win it by like 5 tanks. There's a Comet and a Borsig here that I'm going to spot. I'm going to have a shot. The Borsig's going to be too late turning around. I'm going to push up here, see if I can see anyone else, and then I'm going to run away. And I might take a hit, I might not. But that is 2 tanks spotted, 2 tanks turning around looking towards me, and that is 2 tanks that are quite literally doing nothing now. And then I'm going to roll up here and start putting shots in the side. I am going to take my first shot in this game about 30 seconds in, and it is going to completely ruin the lives of their Ru-251 and their T-49, who are then spotted and pretty much get wrecked and we win the game by a whole heap of tanks again. And I'm only going to show you the first bit because it's chaos theory. Where this doesn't work, and I've tried this because this is absolutely a truism, if you are in platoon with another good player and the opposition spawns a platoon, it is far more likely that that platoon on the opposition side is going to know what they're doing and they will clean you up. So do not do this when you are platooning against good players, or if you recognize really good players on the other team. It will cause you no end of grief. There's an Ru-251 on their team pushing up. He's hit. He's spotted. Their T-49 spotted. They start pushing up into me. You can see, and everyone focuses, and they both get completely destroyed. They've got 2 mediums and a light here. We've got 2 lights and a medium. And I'm going to let this one play out a little bit longer because you're going to see you push to unexpected spots and you spot tanks in positions they're not really expecting to see you in. And then you get focused by multiple people, and big caveat as well, these people quite often know who I am. So you get massive swaves of people trying to kill me anyway, and they put themselves in terrible, terrible, terrible positions. And I just keep taking advantage of that and dragging multiple tanks around the map and out of position. And I can't explain this other than, you know, I was up here 30 seconds ago and then I was down there and they pushed down to see me and they were wondering where I was, and now I've pushed back around and then I'm going to have a shot out there and I'm going to take a hit. And I'm not frugal with my hit points at all. There's a 152 over there who's pretty focused on me. There's an FCM 50T who's pretty focused on me. You're just really playing a spoiler's role. But you know how much fun I had doing this? Just buckets and buckets and buckets of fun. This SU-100M1. There he is. He wants to get involved in the action. I hit him. There's a T-32 over there. He's now turret turning. There's guys coming down. You can see on the mini-map up the top. They're all chasing me. They're all targeting me. Look, there are now 2 tanks coming into town chasing me. There's a T-32 who's got turned around. There's an SU-100M1 there who's got stuck at the back. I'm dragging these guys around the map. And while that's happening, the rest of their team is getting isolated by 4 or 5 tanks up the top and whipped. Absolutely wrecked. And we kept winning games. Even when we had bad players on our team, they would see so many free and easy shots because people are sideways chasing an Ru-251 that's doing 80 kilometers down a hill and drifting around buildings and rocks, and it's a really hard target to hit. I lost, I think it was 1 out of 12 games doing this, or 2 out of 12 games doing this, which isn't obscene, and it's a small sample size. And I haven't managed to test it any further because I quite literally got enough footage playing a bunch of light tanks to finish off the video project that I was doing. I mean, this is crackers, hey. 6 minutes 30, and I'm in their spawn sniping spot, like their spot that they put. The T-34 says run. I'm like, yeah, screw that, buddy. I've been doing this for the last hour, and this is my most happy days anticipatory moment. Like, I can see where they all are. I've counted just about all their tanks, and I'm going to go right back here and start sniping across the map and watch them all turn their turrets. Watch the Reds get absolutely screwed and stuck in this horrible position. And me too. Like, I'm not in the best position in the world here. There's a T-34 over there and an Ru-251 who comes back to put shots on me. And that's all there is to it. Like, I'm taking risks. I'm not afraid to take hit point losses, but it screws their Ferdinand, it screws their Helsing, it screws the guys in the middle who wanted to just set up nicely. At a minute in, under a minute in, I'm putting shots into the back of their heavies that are their frontline tanks and their Helsings. And their 34 is now looking over here at me. He's not sniping anywhere. He's looking at his own spawn. We're under 2 minutes in the game, and these guys are pointing their guns into their own spawn. The guys have all moved up that I push down into the Bulldog here. Our team has literally just pincered all the Reds into the middle of the map. And I'm, again, not going to do big damage. I'm not going to do massive damage. But tell me this is not a fun playstyle. Now, if you are a new player, this is not going to be the way you should play this tank. And there will be screams of outrage and uproar again from certain people on the NA forums going on about, you know, this is suicidal and it's YOLO and I'm to blame for every time someone YOLOs out. But please, there is a reason people camp in spawns. It's because they don't get spotted and they get free reign and they get to put shots out there and it's really crap gameplay and all that kind of stuff. This playstyle is not a fun playstyle to deal with when you are a tank that is sitting in a spawn waiting for your dinner to be fed to you. And then suddenly you're spotted and you get smashed by about 5 different tanks on the other side. I'm going to show you one more game. Just one more game, which is a very fun and funky game I had on Black Goldville 1888. I mean, just really seriously. I even did this in the Leo 1 too, which was pretty funny, which was really funny actually. This is the game on Black Goldville I was talking about. This is wonderful. Tier 8 game. Now, Black Goldville has a very entrenched meta of let's go to the caves. Let's go to the caves. Let's go to the caves. And I think that meta is kind of outdated at the moment. At tier 10 anyway. Tier 10, we're finding so many 183s. There is a 183 on every side. Pretty much at the moment, and at times you have multiples like 3 183s on a side and Jaegeroos and waffle tractors at tier 9 and grills, and it's become quite painful and I hate it. So playing tier 8 like this where you don't get those kind of tanks means the meta is a little bit more wide open. You can be a little bit more aggressive because you're not likely to lose half your hit points at one go. And again, 6 minutes 20, and look where my team is, and look where I am. And I'm loving it. I'm not stopping. I'm literally driving until I meet resistance in this tank, and they're just trying to rely on the speed and being wily to get out of trouble. And you're going to see me, I'm now in their spawn. Like, I'm past their spawn, and I'm behind their team, and their Panthers turned around, and their KV4s turned around, and their poor old Panther, I'm just sitting here behind a tree with on-the-move camouflage and a massive camo rating against their Panther. And I'm just spotting up this poor bugger. And he's like, where is it? Where am I getting spotted from? Like, what is happening? What in the world is going on? Their KV4 is going to come moseying across in a second. The rest of the team is starting to pincer them. I'm just hopeful that someone's going to put shots into this Panther here at some point. He is screwed. He can't move, right? And I'm waiting. There's still a couple of tanks that aren't spotted. It's not like here he is. He's a KV4. So what I'm going to do is wait. The Panther's pushing up now. He's got a mate coming, which is good play by him. He's waited until there's someone there. They're still spotted. I'm going to drive past the KV4 and risk taking a hit because I'm not really worried about him. The Panther is going up. He doesn't have the gun depression to get down there. I'm then going to go around here, put the building between me and them. And again, this is what you can do in the RU. If you're good enough with your craft and you know enough about the tank, and then I'm going to drive over the top of the hill just to be an arsey bugger and see if I can spot anyone over there on the way, and then come back around here and do the same thing in reverse. Get the Panther in a funny spot, put a shot into him, bounce it, but still. Then we're going to use the building to put the Panther in a really poor position and work on the next bit, which is going to be obviously killing the KV4 and the Panther and letting the rest of the team over there do their business. Now, bear in mind, our team is 2 tanks down, or a tank down already. Like, they've actually done really well here, the red guys. They've smashed the guys that went up into town there. Like, absolutely wrecked them, despite the fact that there are a couple of tanks over here, and it's pretty even Stevens, and they knew where they were. They still got pretty badly wrecked. So we've got to do a massive job here if we're going to carry, and I don't think I'm up to it, but anyway, we're going to have a go. We're CODing the Panther because this tank is super mobile and very, very effective. And then we're going to go down here and jink off this, just using all the cover we can, and put the poor old KV4 in a bit of a blender. So we've really done a good job on this flank, right? And unfortunately, we didn't do a good enough job because normally the chaos that ensues from getting that far and that deep was serving me fantastically, and I was getting a lot more attention from the red team, but we only really got 2 tanks over here. And then our AMX came over here to try and COD the KV4 and got pretty much screwed over. So it's just us really now going back 3 on 2 though. We lose 1, and then I'm not quite sure what our... what the Emil's thinking here. I'm trying to push up to help him. He doesn't need to try and get shots off. He just needs to wait, but he doesn't. He pushes. And we're then in a very, very tough spot. Play this pretty solid. I'm pretty happy with the way I play it. Get a nice shot, wait for a side shot, use heat in the IS-5 because it's very, very solid side armor, and then we reset our camo. And I'm looking to just clear one of these tanks and then work the other one over. There's a T-32. Can't get the gun down far enough on that 32, but I do manage to reset the camo again by bailing here over the back, going around. We are coming for you, are you? No, you're not. Vindicator, you're dead. Stay dead. Pushing around the top. And just having generally a bit of fun. I'm resetting the camo. There's another bush here that I want to use. I hopefully can get through here without getting spotted and spot the T-32, which is exactly what happens. I set up for the shot here in the space. I'm pretty confident he's going to cross. Waiting. There we go. We get our shot. He's on 71 hit points. Still shielded from the IS-5, but we take 1 hit, and that really screws us over. And it's a good job from him. We get 1 into him. All I got to do is get this T-32 as he comes around the corner, and Bob's your mother's brother, and I blow this badly. Badly blow it. Yep, completely blow it. My fault, bad play. Played really, really well up until then, and then screwed up an easy kill on that 32. He was coming around the corner. All I had to do was shoot 1 drive wheel, turn off auto aim, and it would have been fine, but I didn't. And that's it, guys. That's the new and enhanced Super YOLO Ru-251 variant. And God, don't get angry at me. If you see someone doing this in game, it's not my fault. Do not try that at home. It's fun, but you have to be bloody experienced and have played an awful lot of games in lights and be able to read a map and pay attention and watch everything that's going on around you and analyze the teams as you're screaming along at 80 kilometers an hour towards the enemy spawn and know how to react when you see a big TD, etc., etc., etc. So please don't do that at home unless you've really played the game a lot. But gee, if you have, give yourself a chance because it's a bloody fun thing to do. I'm Bushka on Blitz. Look after yourselves. We have a lot of streams going on this week and every week. Sunday, Tuesday, Friday on the NA server, 5:30 p.m. West Coast, 8:30 p.m. East Coast. 8 p.m. on a Wednesday evening on the EU server. That's a count-in stream with everyone there and the patrons. Lots and lots of stuff dropping on channel every week. I've just done a tournament video between Premo and the new kids on the block, TK, led by the guys like Vovko, B Walker, all the boys, great people there. Lots coming out. Don't miss it. Stick around. Tell your friends about the channel. Subscribe, share, make sure you like the videos. And until next time, stay safe on the battlefield. Oh, and be nice to each other.